Hi, this is Mrs. Clark, and today I'm going to show you how to code this pixel art menorah so that as people answer your questions, the pixels appear, eventually creating the entire picture. Let me show you an example of the type of thing I'm talking about. Here's a different design, and as people answer my questions, pixels start to pop up, eventually creating the entire design, and that's what we're going to do with the menorah. If you want this exact design, click on the link in the description, or you can make your own pixel art first and then code along with me. You just want to make sure that your artwork is finished and it is the color and the way that you want it before you start coding. I also always put it at 75% so that I can see everything at once. The next step is to click on the question and answer boxes and type and fill in what you want for your questions and your answers. Here are some examples. I chose very simple questions that have concrete answers that are either a number or a one-word answer so that they're not open for too much interpretation and people can answer them easily enough because these are the boxes that I'll be coding. So go ahead and write in your questions and your answers, and then we'll start coding. So when you code, here's what we're doing. We're coding these boxes here one at a time. You are not going to use the question boxes anymore. We can leave those. I'm going to code each one of these boxes, and if someone types in the correct answer, it's going to pull up a color in my picture. There are 9 questions, but only 6 colors. So if I did all of the, let's say, pretend like we were going in order here. If I did all the dark blue for this one, all of the blue, all of the light blue, all of the golden yellow, all of the yellow, and all of the light yellow, my entire menorah would have showed up by this point, even though there's 3 questions left. All that means is that for 3 of the colors, I'll do about half of the pixels and then save half for later. When you code, you're going to tell the computer the column of this box, so column B, and the row of this box. And I'll show you how to do that. So here is the custom formula down here. I suggest writing it down. It is equals $column, $row equals answer. For example, let's take a look at this box. That box is in column B, and it is in row 4. I know this because when I click on it, it shades that up here, so not the A, not the C, but the B. I come over here, it's 4, 5, 6, and 7, but for the code, I'm going to use the first one, which is 4. So this box is in B4. That means when I write my code, I'm going to write equals $B for column, $4 for the row. Equals, and then for the answer, I'm going to write in whatever my answer is. For me, it's 9. Let's look at this box. When I code this box, I'm going to write equals $B, $8 equals 10. And you'll write in whatever your answer is. Okay, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to pick a color that I want to do. I'm going to do the dark blue first. I do want to make sure I know how to find that dark blue in the paint bucket. So I'm going to click on it and just get a good idea of what color that even is. Go into the paint bucket. Okay, so it's the one second from the right in the custom colors. Great. Now I'm going to click on the box I'm actually coding, which is not this box. It's the answer box. And let's open up the conditional formatting window. To do that, click on Format, and if you don't have this menu, click over here. So Format, and come down to Conditional Formatting. Now you can see that I opened up a code that applies to this box here, which is perfect. First, I'm going to fill in the color I actually want it to turn. Now I'm going to write that code that we were just talking about. So come here to the format, click, come all the way down and choose the last one. This is where we write that code where we're going to tell the computer the column and row of that box and that it should equal 9 in order for the code to activate. equals $B, that's the column, $4, that's the row, equals 9, that's the answer. Just like that. This code is technically done, but I also want to bring along that color out of the picture as well. To do that, I click up here, and this window will pop up. I'm going to slide it over, and you can see that this 9 box is still selected. That's good. I need to keep it that way. In order to keep that selected, I'm going to hold down Control. Or if you have a Mac, hold down Command. This allows me to keep what's already been clicked on while I click on more pixels. Now I'm going to select or click on all of the dark blues in the picture, and it's adding the dark blues to the code. If you click on a box you don't mean to, just click on it again and it'll deselect. Notice that that 9 is still selected. It's a little hard to see because it's blue, but it is. Take your finger off Control or Command, slide this up, and now I'm going to do 3 steps. First, I'm going to click OK on the range. Next, hit Done on the code. Finally, come up to the paint bucket and hit Reset. This step is super important. Now the code is done. I'm going to come up here. I clicked off of it, so deselected. I'm going to come up here and delete the 9 out of here. And they disappear. Put the 9 back in, and they'll come back. But it won't come back until you click off of it. There we go. So that code is good. Now, before I do the next one, I'm going to take the 9 out again so I can see what I've done and not done. I want my menorah to be disappearing as I go. Let's pick another color. I'm going to do this lightest yellow, and it's interspersed throughout here. So I can mostly see all those light yellows there. I think I'll be fine. But as you're going, if it's hard for you to see it and you accidentally click on one that was supposed to be, you know, this regular yellow, it's not that big of a deal because this is just like light and shading here. But I do want to make sure I know where to find that yellow. So click up here. It's the 4th one in. Okay, click on this 10. And I'm going to click Add Another Rule. There we go. First, I'm going to choose the color. Now I'm going to write my code. So click on this, come all the way down, and again, we're going to tell the computer the column and row of that box, and that it needs to equal 10. Equals $B, $8 equals 10. There's my code. The last step is just to select the pixels that I want to be part of it. Keeping that 10 box selected, so hold down Control or Command. And now I'm going to try to find all those light yellows. And even as the person who created this, I don't think I'll do it perfectly. I don't know that I can really see every single one, but it's just kind of a fun shading highlight artistic element to it. So it's not the end of the world if I don't get them all and I make them the other yellow instead. Maybe that's one there. Okay, when I'm done, I take my finger off of Control and do my 3 steps. I hit OK on the range, Done on the code, and come up and reset the paint bucket. Click off of it. Let's test it. Come up here and delete the 10. There we go. Let's put in both now. So that one should be 9 and that one should be 10. And you can see it over in the code over here. When you click on them, the codes pop up, and then when you click here, there's no code, which is great because that's the one we're doing next. First, delete these though. I'm going to do the blue, the darker of the ones that's left over. And I do want to show you that when the answer is a word like Denver, it's a little bit different. So first I want to make sure I know where to find this blue. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one in. Now I'm going to go and click on the box I'm actually coding, which is this one. Click Add Another Rule. Select the color, and we'll write the code. I'm going to write it the way I wrote the other ones. $B, $12 equals Denver. And watch as it turns white over there. There's something wrong with the code. Well, This was working fine before when it was a number like 9 and 10, but if the answer is a word, you just have to put quotes around it like this. Quote at the end, quotation mark at the beginning. And now it works. That's it. If it's a word, you have to put quotes around it. Come up here, slide this over, make sure that Denver box is still selected, hold down Control or Command, and then click on the rest of the ones that you want to bring along. I just saw a little light yellow there. That got missed, but that's okay, because when I do the regular yellow, I'll make it regular yellow instead, and it will still look fine. Okay. There we go. Take my hand off of Control, slide this up, hit OK. Done. Paint bucket, reset. And then I test them. 9, click off of it. 10, click off of it. Denver, click off of it. Menorah is completely full. That's great. Now I'm going to do that golden yellow, but remember where I said we have more questions and not as many colors. So I'm not going to do all of the golden yellow. I'll do about half of it. Let me find the color. First one. Go back to the box I'm actually coding. Pick the color. Oops, I changed the font instead of the paint bucket. Custom formula is, and since it is a word, I'm going to put it in quotes. Capitalization here doesn't actually matter. It's a proper noun, so you should capitalize it, but it won't impact the code. Come up to range, and I'm going to select about half of the golden yellows, so I have some left over. Now, I can click and drag and select all of these at once, like that, but it's more fun to intersperse it like this, so that when people are doing it, the pixels are more scattered, and it's harder for them to guess what they're creating. Something that I noticed when I started doing pixel art is that it does require a lot of patience. Mistakes happen. Sometimes I click and it deselects everything and I have to start this over, or I leave a pixel out, or I forget to code the color box or the answer box so it doesn't change color like it's supposed to. So I made a separate video called Common Mistakes with Pixel Art, and that will show you how to fix the most common mistakes that I see come up. So this video is just kind of short and simple for the Menorah here. And then if you want to dive in and see how to fix some of the common issues, you can watch that video. It is located right underneath of this, or you can go to my channel and go to the playlist called Pixel Art, and it's called Common Mistakes with Pixel Art, or something similar to that. All right. There's the video I was telling you about. Okay, I'm going to speed it up now and do the rest of these in the same way as before, and then we'll come back in and we'll check it and see how it looks. Okay, when you're finished, there should be nothing there. If you left a pixel behind or something like that, I have a troubleshooting video. I'll show you how to find that and it'll help you. We can see as I click through these that over there on the right, the codes pop up for each one. So if you need to access any of the codes again, that's where to find them. Let's go ahead and fill these in and watch our menorah come to life. There it is. I'm going to close this tab over here. This is where to find the troubleshooting video, or you can just go to my channel, which is youtube.com/Heidi Clark, and it's Pixel Art Common Mistakes. And it'll show you what to do if you made a mistake with your pixel art. And one thing I want to tell you is before you give this to someone to work on, obviously you're going to delete the answers. However, you also need to make a copy of it before you give it to someone else to work on, because sometimes if you give it to someone like this, it looks like it should be ready, but if you were to give it to someone in Google Drive or Google Classroom, it will pop up a quick picture of that menorah when they open it because it remembers being coded so many times. That's easy to fix though. You're just going to make sure to make a copy of it like this and name the copy, for my friends or whatever, so that you know which one to give to people. I hope this is helpful for you. Click on the link if you want to get the menorah, and then I have another link for all of my winter designs, and I hope that you have fun with this project.